But there is some evidence that the presumptive GOP nominee is settling in as a party leader. When his former longtime butler argued on Facebook that President Obama, quote, should have been taken out by our military and shot as an enemy agent, Team Trump acted fast to say we totally and completely disavow the horrible statements by him regarding the president.
I think Donald Trump did the right thing by disavowing that statement and distancing himself from it.
All right, let's bring in Ashley Bell, Republican delegate and former commissioner for Hall County, Georgia, and Simone Perry of the Tea Party Patriots. Good to have both of you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good
So
to be here.
I want to start here with a little more of the ad we had at the top of that story about taxes. Let's watch.
Maybe I'm going to do the tax returns when Obama does his birth certificate.
The state of Hawaii released my official long-form birth certificate.
If I decide to run for office, I'll produce my tax returns, absolutely. I am officially running for President of the United States.
Getting any closer to releasing your tax return?
Well, I'm thinking about it. I can't do it until the audit is finished.
The audit is no excuse. The IRS has made it very clear that an audit is not a bar to public release. It is entirely your choice.
So the ad is clear, the ad is accurate. Ashley, I'm going to start with you. Why isn't he releasing these taxes, and should he?
Transparency is key for anyone running for president. So Hillary Clinton should know that better than anyone. When will she release her transcripts from Goldman Sachs and these other places? I'm going to bring you back to the top of the conversation. When is he going to release his taxes, and should he? He should. He really should. The standard should be equal on both sides. Hillary should release hers, he should release his. Taxes, transcripts, all of that. People need to know. And we want to make sure if you're going to be president that you're going to maintain that level of transparency throughout the term in office. Okay, let me come to you, Simone, on taxes.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I'm impressed that he's managed to break a campaign promise prior to being elected. I think that's pretty much outdone for him, but I don't think that this is so much a conservative issue. I think it's just a general transparency issue, kind of like Ashley Bell said before. And I also think in general, we're going to see something that he doesn't want us to see. On his tax returns. There's the potential for shady foreign investments, contributions to Democrats, which we know that he's done, but maybe we don't know the extent. And I think there's definitely a reason why he wants to postpone that.
He has pointed reporters to his financial disclosure form filed with the FEC, says that that's all people need to know. But of course, there are more details that come from a tax return. I want to read back to you, Simone, something you told the Washington Post and get the two of you to discuss it. You told them we can no longer claim to be the party of freedom, speaking about Republicans, when we nominate a fascist. And we can't be the party of opportunity if we decide a racist can represent our values. Donald Trump, a fascist and a racist.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. I mean, a fascist is just anyone who believes that executive order and their ability to run their own legislation is better than the Constitution, better than Congress, better than checks and balances. So Donald Trump, I think, is indisputably interested in serving his own interests. And he has an agenda that is entirely his own. That makes him a fascist by definition. I would say that he's a racist, but I'd also say that he's a bigot. And I don't think that we should limit his discrimination to solely color because it extends to gender. And I don't think that we should limit his discrimination to solely color because it extends to gender as well.
Ashley, fascist, racist, bigot. You say you're going to support the nominee. It looks like the nominee will be Donald Trump. How do you defend him against those charges?
You know, I don't. I look at it this way. You know, Donald Trump has a record, and I hope that he learns to be a better public servant. As a businessman, he's got a different criteria for how he can live his life. Yeah. But I like the fact that he met with our Speaker of the House so he could understand. We understand you have a lot of ideas, but you got to balance that against the Constitution. You got to balance that against leaders in the House and the Senate. You just can't go and say you're going to ban all Muslims and not think about the constitutional issues there or how Congress plays a role in that. We don't need just a CEO of America. We need a president who understands his role in the Constitution.
Of course, all of these, the tax call, this recording of who he says is not him, this John Miller person, is coming out. Then these can be small things or grow into a larger narrative. But when I asked you if you defend him against being a fascist, racist, and bigot, you said you don't. Do you believe the Republican Party is nominating a fascist, racist, bigot?
Look, I don't know Donald Trump personally, so I'm not going to say he's a racist.
Is nominating a fascist, racist, bigot?
Look, I don't know Donald Trump personally, so I'm not going to say he's a racist or a bigot. Because here's the thing: if he really is this historical racist and this historical bigot and has been his whole life, then how do you explain Hillary Clinton taking money from him? Because Hillary Clinton took money from a fascist, racist bigot. 10 years ago, he's funded some of her initiatives, one of his biggest supporters. So I doubt even Hillary Clinton's going to say that she knows Donald Trump to be that because that's one of her supporters.
Let me ask you: this is something that has been discussed and has not been ruled out. The possibility of a third-party conservative, someone to excite the base and help those down-ballot tickets, down-ballot races. Do you believe that that is something? Is there a credible effort anywhere in the country?
Oh, there's a huge credible effort on two different fronts, not only for a third-party candidate, but there's still the possibility that we can elect a different Republican in a contested convention. And there's a groundswell of people who are still never Trump, still conservative, still Republican, that go from grassroots activists to very high-profile right-wing donors.
Are you still never Trump?
Absolutely.
And you're going to support him at the nominee?
My party's nominee. I was with Marco Rubio, didn't work out, but I
never Trump?
Absolutely.
And you're going to support him at the nominee?
My party's nominee. I was with Marco Rubio, didn't work out, but I always agreed you support the nominee.
But do you do so begrudgingly?
I'm working on it.
Working on it. All right. Until next time, Simone Perry, Ashley Bell, thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, Christy?
All righty, in just about 50 minutes, guess who's going to be coming at you? One Mr. Michael Smerconish, host of his show Smerconish, which airs next hour. Michael, so good to see you, and I'm interested in one of the guests that you have coming on because we've been talking about this person who taped the Trump publicist interview, and you're talking to her.
Sue Carswell is going to be my guest, you're right, in less than an hour, Christy, and I'm very eager to hear this story from her perspective. Look, she figured out very quickly that John Miller was in fact Donald Trump, and she wrote that in her story, and then there was a follow-up story which confirms that Donald Trump himself apologized. So it begs the question, why this week did he deny it? And there's something else that interests me about this story, and that is the tape. She did not put this tape in play. So